Well, good evening and welcome to another Scale Model Ninja. Tonight we'll be carrying on with the Celestial Hurricanum. So, as you recall, I got the horses done and I got the severe spherical ball thing that was supposed to go on top of it somewhere after the sun cannon or whatever it is it's going on it as well. So that's where I've got to on that. So far this week I've been playing around with a few other models. One of them is the AWACS, which I do on a Saturday night. That's coming along quite nicely. It should hopefully be finished this Saturday. Put the last few pieces on, and then it'll just need a quick gloss coat to finish it off. After that, there will be another big 4-engine prop plane being done, which is the Hello 172nd Warning Star. So that's the predecessor to the AWACS. So that's what will be going on next on the Saturday. But I also have been playing with, as I said, with a couple of other kits. I've got one finished and I've started another one today, which is the quite big birders actually as well. But we'll go into chat quickly and see who's in. And first of all, it is here. Marcus Bron is in, saying good evening, Ross, with his usual little bare face. Then we've got Spring Glue in saying hi, Ross, Christine, and chat. Merry Christmas, and Merry Christmas to you, mate, as well. Have a good one. Then we've got Hugh Gordon in saying evening, Ross and Korra. Then Korra Pink saying hi to Marcus and David. Hugh saying hi to Marcus. And you've got Korra Pink saying hi to Hugh. And Hugh Gordon saying hi to David. And then you've got Marcus Brown saying hi to Korra, and he's also saying hi to you and David. Then we've got Hugh Gordon saying season greeting to one and all. And Spring Glue saying hi to Hugo and Marcus. So, we'll go down to Macam and I'll show you what I've been up to. Get this mostly to work. Here we go. And there we go. So, the first thing, oops, and I've just got to knock that off now, haven't I? Yep. So I'm going to have to glue that back in place again. Bleeding thing. One thing I hate is the leading pitot tubes at the front of them. I always end up knocking the damn things off. But we will glue it back on quickly so it doesn't get lost. It's also one of the reasons why I always end up sticking these. And we've got like these little separate pitos at the front. There we go, and voila. One little Tiger Models F5 Freedom Fighter. And if you remember, these are the ones they used in Top Gun, and they dressed them up as wrecking aircraft. So yeah, there we go. So I managed to get it all finished. It was a bit of a pig of a kit really, because it's an old Tiger Models kit, and they weren't really much fun to build, to be quite honest with you. And then David saying, remember to move your mic. Yep, just on that anyway. So yeah, this one I've been playing around with for a couple of weeks now, but it's basically all done. I even gave it a little sharky mouth just to make it a bit more fun, as I never had the original decals for it, but managed to find some pictures of American Air Force ones, and there we go. And that's how it's turned out after a quick gloss coat. So yep, that's that one finished, and it's going to get hung up on the ceiling somewhere in the very near future. Also, I better take this out of zoom, otherwise you're not going to see this other. Well, actually, I'll put it back up to face cam, so I think it's the only way you're going to see this other bird that I've been doing, the AWACS, because he has gone a bit big. Just change that one. There we go. This is roughly where we've got to on the AWACS. Just move that down there. There we go. So we have most of it together. We've only got a bit of the undercarriage and the other side of the start supports for the dish. We've got them to go on next. So yep, and got the top half of the wings to glue, the gloss, engines to go on, and then there's the little fins to go and everything to go on it, and then it's going to be basically finished. So that'll be another one to play around with, and that'll get hung up again, and yeah, so that's that part done. Put that like that quickly, and then also I've been playing around with this little fella. Now I'm not sure if anybody can guess what it is. First one to guess what it is gets a Scooby snack. So yeah, quite big. It's a 48 scale. I think we've got let's see. And you got Marcus Run saying that's a good looking F5. You got Panzer Koenigsein saying hi Ross. Good evening Panzer. You're going greetings all. Sprungroo saying Panzer hugs. Korra Pink saying hi to Panzer. Marcus saying hi to Panzer. And then Panzer saying Sprue hugs. Hi to Korra. Hi to Marcus. And Sprungroo's got it right by saying SR71, which is indeed. But this is not the Revel kit. This is actually the Testers kit that I've been doing. So then we've got Festa 67 in. Hi Colin. Saying hi Ross. And we've got Panzer Koenig saying SR71 Blackbird. And Colin's going hi to folks in chat, and then everybody's saying hi to Colin. And then Colin's just saying hi to David and Marcus Brunn. And everybody else by the looks of it. So yeah, and we have so far put the engine pods together for the SR71 as well. So they're going together. They'll have a matte varnish put across them after a little while. So that's both the engine pods. So see how quite big. I mean, it's almost like a plane by itself. Well, if you think about it, it's near enough. I'd say, yeah, roughly the same length as the F5. So yeah, all fun and games. The only problem is that half of one of the seats is missing out of the whole kit. But as the actual window in the back seat is actually that small, it will be Marcus has already been said, the SR71, yep. So David won his Scooby snack. Yep. That's where we've got to so far on those builds. Next we'll go back down to Matt Camp. And we'll go back into Zoom again because actually we've been playing around with got that all part of that finished. I did put the little horses around here somewhere. There they are. The horses in the base of the trailer are done. We have the front balustrade. We've got the little book that I've got to finish doing the detail work on. And then there's the disc that this part connects to somewhere or other. But we'll work that out. Anyway, it goes around that way somewhere. Like, so, goes on like that anyway. At some point. And then little book sheets on it like so. We'll work way up or not, but never mind. But that's how that one goes. But we'll carry on working on this. So tonight we'll you bugger. So we've got all this detail work in here to do first. Just started doing some of the steps on it last week. There we go. So we've got the first two little steps done, and we've got another big section of steps, and we've got a load of detail work to do in the back of it. So that should make it more interesting. Oh, cool. Froggy throat tonight. Maybe a coffee down in it. So we've also got part of the main framework to do as well. Now, like I did last week, I'll leave the camera on zoom, so it makes it just a bit easier for people to see everything and everything like that. So I'll just turn this to silent, otherwise I'm going to get notifications like mad everywhere. Do that one. So that's that sorted. My mistake for not actually turning everything to silent. There we go. That's that sorted. Yeah. Bye. So we're going to carry on. First of all, we're going to do the disc. I want Balthazar gold. So, is everybody ready for Christmas yet? It's only, what, 3 more sleeps or something to go before Christmas? So, not really that much longer to go. There we go. I do like it when you do this sort of thing on these detail parts and they just suddenly appear, even though you can see them in the brown and you've done it like the basic material colour. Then you just go over with this with the gold colour and it just sort of suddenly brings them all out. It just reveals it all. Just a little bit there on the base, a couple of places, but we'll sort that out in a minute. Okay, so that's the little gold griffin done on the front. Marcus was saying, just waiting for packages to show up. Shopping done, just a bit big wait, really. Well, for my son, that is. Yeah, you just to get excited yourself. You can't lie about that, lad. We know what you like. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is where I'm going to start outlining the sections around the skulls. So what I'm going to do then that is I'm going to do it in a copper colour. I hope this will work. I've actually just started watching Da Vinci's Demons. So I'm actually quite enjoying that. I've been meaning to watch it for some time. And just suddenly appeared up on my Prime account. So I can start watching that this evening before the show. So It's been quite good so far. Change a different brush because that one's mine's a bit thinner. There we go. There you can see it's a bit more detailed to do this one today. It's a bit smaller work with, so sometimes it pays off just to use a slightly smaller brush. Got a little bits that I've actually caught it, but I will cover them up in a bit and go around them again. I quite like the contrast of the copper and the gold. It does make it a bit more interesting. So like I said the other day, when it comes to doing this sort of thing, I'm generally quite quiet, and I do apologise. It's not so easy when you're sort of like trying to concentrate on getting the really tiny detail, and then you sometimes make little errors and you sort of like just suddenly lose concentration on where you're putting your finger with the brush and everything. Yep, made a mistake there. Just a couple there. I'll probably have to redo in a minute because the brown paint's going to be the brown paint covered in copper. But that's generally how it's coming along. So we've got the copper outline, gold for the griffin, and then we're going to do the skulls, which are there all the way around. And that we need this fatty bone. I think this one's actually running quite low. Yep, it is, but there's enough in there for the time being. What I'm going to first do though is just touch up where the gold is on the base paint, otherwise I'll end up making the mistake of covering where I want to go. That sorted out. Has anybody had any new toys turn up ready for Christmas? I like making a slight little purchase of the Veterans Auction group on Facebook, which I suddenly thought was a rather good deal, considering it's a Hercules Combat Talon, which is another big aircraft. I seem to enjoy doing them more than anything. And yeah, it cost me less than £30. So yeah, I'm quite chuffed for that, because it saved me between 15 and 20 quid, I think, for what they actually go for nowadays. So I'm a happy bunny. But I did get that knowing look off my darling wife. You have to say, what you bloody bought there? But the purchase was funded through this channel. And I do that by the Buy Me a Coffee link. And I have a number of donators, people that actually help support my channel. And that goes to buying kits and paint and everything. But because I was donated a load of paints, I decided that I was actually going to buy a kit this time. But I've also bought myself another one, which and that is my Valkyrie, which I'll be doing live on this stream in the very near future. Probably after I finish this one, actually. If my little lad allows me, I should say. You never know, he might do. Depends on how many of his little space marines he wants doing, or he wants me to get done. I'm not too keen the way these are going. No, not liking that. Not liking that one bit. So I think I might just change it. What's this? Sprue and glue, all done here. Or done here. Done here. Done. Yeah, that's good. So, I'm not liking that one bit. So, what I'm going to do, just paint that back brown again. And paint an idea and colour on that, I think. Because that just doesn't look right. That minute dry off. In the meantime, I suppose we can work on the steps while that's drying. And we just need to do it again. And we've got all the scrolls along the front here and the little stars that need doing. Well, that hasn't mixed right. Urgh. Okay. Get off. Pot holder. Get that. That's a bit stodgy, that is. Probably my own fault for having it open too long most of the time. So what I'm going to do is add a bit of my thinners onto it, I think. And that should hopefully water this down a bit more so I can actually then use it a bit easier. Just using it. Oh. What I mean by thinners is I use a so Arky was chuffed you remembered his birthday off. Hey, you're welcome. Yeah, it's tomorrow, I think, isn't it? If I remember rightly. That's better. Mixing up better. Yes. Little stick of goodness. Yeah, that's better. Basically what I use is a bit of distilled water. And it mixes it up nicely. So Arky's 72. 72 years young tomorrow. So what are you going to do to spoil him though, David? That's the main thing. And we brought him more gardening stuff again. Or we bought him a couple of more pots of plant pots. There you go. Click him. That should make life a bit easier. So also, I will be streaming on Christmas Day in the evening. Oh, he's bought in some more kitchen gadgets this time around. And to make it a bit more of a laugh, I've decided I'll be doing a giveaway on Christmas Day, just to make it a bit more interesting for the evening. Not going to let you know what it is, so you'll have to join in on the day to find out. And it will be mentioned at the start of the stream, and then it will actually get drawn on the following show, which will be on the Tuesday afterwards. So it'll be after whatever bank holiday Monday, isn't it? Something like that it would be. So yeah, feel free to join me on Christmas Day. Well, again, it won't be until like 10 o'clock at night, like a normal stream. So by that time, hopefully all the kids should be in bed and we'll all be sat down relaxing. And Grandpa will be snoring in his chair after his Brussels sprouts and farting. So if you want to get away and come and join me, then you're more than welcome. I said it'd be a fun little evening. Yeah, I don't know if it would. Depends how long I want to actually stream for, but it probably won't be as long as I normally am. I mean, the last show went for just over 2 hours, I think it was. I was trying to hopefully finish off the AWACS, but that didn't go as planned. What I will say for the giveaway that I'm going to do on Christmas Day, anybody from overseas that is watching this and they wish to actually enter, please be aware that even though I will post abroad, it may take some time to get to you, and you've got to understand the cost will be quite horrendous. Usually, but it may come snail mail, but it will be tracked. Because sadly, in the last couple of months, I've sent some parcels over to foreign climes, and out of them, 3 out of 4 have got lost. And even one I've sent you into not far from here to been posted to, and yeah, sadly that one's got lost as well. So yeah, not a happy bunny when it comes to that at the moment. But hey ho, well, that's all the little things done at the front there, you can see. Oh god, now the dog's decided he's going to play up as well, so Mrs. will have to come down and let him out. Noisy hound. Believe it or not, you do let him out before he goes for the start of the show, but now he's started creating now. He's very good at mistiming things with Mr. Muttley. Okay, so I'm using aluminium on this one. So hopefully this will work a bit easier now. Very mumbly. Yeah, it's not better. I'm not actually. It's actually turning out a lot better than what I thought it would. Okay. So yeah, made the right decision to change the colour. So yeah, so the little skulls coming out a little bit better now. So I'm quite happy with that now. The best thing about this being stuck on with blue tack, I can just turn it like that, so better control. And it also gives me something to rest my finger against. Because you might notice I actually use one finger like that against the other hand just stops my fingers from shaking. And it's something that I've picked up the last maybe 2 or 3 years, where my hand just suddenly starts shaking. And for what I've been told by the quacks, it's due to the fact that I've been with sanding and using oh, there it goes. Using sanding machines and everything like that in my daily job, it causes damage after a while, sadly. Well, there we go. These things we do and use. So it's all coming together slowly, and the skulls are going around. I've got to do the inner section here, and I'll be doing that a different colour, just to give it a bit more contrast than just leaving it in the copper and the gold. Oh no, the good lady comes down, she doesn't even make me a cup of coffee. Makes herself one. I'll have to have words with her about that. Yes, David, I will be streaming at 10 PM as normal on Saturday. And as I said, like, most people will be sat down relaxing by that time. We're kicking all the kids to bed. So yeah, it should hopefully be a bit more fun to just to sit and relax, and then listen to me to waffle on for about an hour and a half, I suppose, or something similar. I've got a tiny little bit tidying up around that one to do. Okay. Well, another 4 skulls, and we should be done on this side. There's some tiny little bits of mistakes that I've got made, but those can be rectified. Yeah, I'm going to do a bit too far on that one as well. Yep, nice little skull. As I said, there's just a couple of little bits to tidy up around one or two of the skulls, but I think other than that, it's not looking too bad. And you can see little circular skulls are there. I'm quite liking the look of it so far. Still got the other side to do, right? But we'll get around to that in a minute. Okay, so I want. There it is. It's the Rune Lord's Brass, the next one. That one's right. Now, this is what I'm going to be doing. There's a little tiny inner circle piece there, going around the inside of that section of it, and this is what I'm going to do with that one. Just a slight different colour to the copper. We don't need a lot of it. And it just gives a subtle difference between the copper and the brass. Okay, and now, there we go. If you just see the slight difference in colour between the copper and the brass, not so easily on to put on the camera, but there is a big difference. I find it that way. Marcus Brown saying, never missed a show, I think, since I started. Find it relaxing. Well, I'm glad you do. I mean, I haven't got one that, well, I suppose I haven't really got the most subtlest of voices. Can be a bit raspy at times. I'm just going over the copper again. Because officially this is actually an airbrush paint that I'm using again. But I find that when brushing with the airbrush paint, it may take a couple of thin coats, but you do get quite a nice finish in the end. Make that stand out a bit more as well. There we go. So that goes. Now, this brings the copper out a little bit more. And there we go. So we've got the copper and the brass effect. And Marcus is going, and sometimes oddly pressured. I wouldn't know what you're talking about, mate. You decided to go and buy the Valkyrie. Not me. You made that conscious decision yourself. I might have said it as a good idea. And therefore, sort of put an idea in your mind. But it wasn't my idea completely. So, now on the brass ring, there's some little tiny recesses. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my smallest brush just to go in that area and just fill them in, like so. And I said this way it just helps bring slightly different contrast to the colours, I find. And considering it's an Age of Sigma piece, they generally are fairly ostentatious with being a Stormcast piece of machinery. And there we go. That's the little inserts done all the way around as well. And I was going to let's stick with that, Ross. Yeah. Yeah, I did. I haven't painted that yet. So I'm going to do that outside edge in silver as well. Again, this is purely to help it sort of stand out. Yeah, so I've got a funny feeling this is probably going to take me longer to do this model than it took me to do the Helldrake. So I probably will start doing a bit more work on this when I'm offline, just to help move things along a little bit. But I'll make sure I do. If there's any repeat parts, then yeah, I will do one online while we're live, and then the others I'll quite happily do while I'm offline. That way you get to see what I've done and how I'm doing it at the same time as enjoying the show, but also hopefully then not making you all too bored from watching too many streams of the same project. So I know sometimes that can be a bit unhealthy for some people because they get bored. I've got about 6 or 7 projects that I've started, and I've actually put them back in the boxes. That's what I've started probably in the last 3 months, 4 months, and they found the way back into the boxes because I just lost interest in the builds at the time. Now, I will get them finished. But it's like I was saying to another group member. He was doing his build, and he mentioned how frustrated it was for him. Now, even he admitted he didn't really think about putting it back in the box and leaving it to one side and going and coming back to it, until I sort of mentioned it to him, and then he sort of went, yeah, great idea. One of the oldest tricks in the book that near enough every other model he uses, but it never sort of occurred to him. But there's naught worse than doing a model and then you sort of like lose interest in it. If you do that, then, and if you force yourself, as I should say, to try and actually complete it, and you end up screwing it up more than you actually intended. Now, I've had a couple of builds like that, where in the end I've actually just turned around and said, sod it, strip it all down, rebuild it, and repaint it. But that was after I actually put it away for some time. I mean, the Tiger Models kit that I've just finished there, I started that about 10 months ago, but it was a kit that was when I was actually doing it, I didn't actually feel it that much, because the condition of it compared to other models that I've done wasn't that great. It was a bit of a horror kit really, but it's one of those kits that you end up doing and you just take your time over it, and then it comes out reasonably okay, I think. It's done. I haven't been on nearly an hour already. Hard to believe. So, out there, who else has been watching? Who else has watched the second series of The Witcher? I watched that over the last couple of nights. I've now caught up completely again. And it's turning quite interesting again. So we know we're going to have to do a few little touch-ups around this one again, but we can sort that out. One side done. Oh, itchy hand. Yeah. So we'll do the other side on this one, and then we can put this one down and go back to my disc. Once again, I do apologise for being a bit quiet. When you're doing detail this small, I end up trying to think about as little as possible without trying to talk. I sometimes find that makes me hand shake a lot more. You have to bear with me while I'm just concentrating on doing this bit. Again, I'm going to have to make some little tiny touch-ups on these. I'm actually using my second smallest brush, I think, at the moment. And this one's a 5/0. Normal brush I use for this is a 10/0, but it's gone walkabout for some strange reason. There you got Marcus Brown saying, yeah, getting stuck or loss of mojo. Losing mojo is not fun, but taking the advice from you and the community makes things easier. Start something new or take a breather. Yep, it's definitely so. Haven't read the books, played the game. I like the Witcher series though, a lot. Yep, great series. I mean, would advise anybody to go and have a watch of it. There's 2 seasons out now, so it should be all fun and games. I mean, the second series has turned out to be a lot better than the first series. I'll find out. I figure. In my honest opinion, as they say. Oh dear, cold coffee. Okay, so we should be able to just touch this up. Give it a minute. So I tell you, everybody's got their families all ready to come over for Christmas, or are you going to your families? In our case, it's just me, Mrs, and our 2 young uns. There's most of our family that deign to come and see us all live down Norfolk way. And even though I do have family that live locally to me here, and I have invited them over on numerous occasions in the past, they haven't bothered turning up, so each to their own. I suppose it's my own fault for, in a way, being too independent of them. I don't rely on them at all, unlike other members that did of our family. So again, we'll start off with doing the copper lines on here again. So we're just going to go around the edges. So surprising when you're doing this sort of thing how long and how much time it gets taken up. You got Marcus saying, just me and my son, full lockdown here in Netherlands. Not complaining though, all good. It's not so bad if you can actually work from home, I suppose. I mean, there are more and more subtle hints that we're going to have a 2-week circuit breaker, as they call it, after Christmas. Which I suppose in a way it is one of the best times to do it. But I don't think it'd be wise to do it before Christmas. But there are hints coming out all over the place that we'll be having this 2-week circuit breaker. What Colin's saying, yet to watch the Witcher TV show. It's brilliant, mate. It's on Amazon Prime, I think, if I remember rightly. Mind you, you've still got to sit and watch your DS9, haven't you? Or how far have you got with that so far? That don't look right. Yep, some extra paint there, I think. Okay. No, blue tack. Thought so. Get that bit of blue tack out of there. There we go. Got it off. But tonight, hopefully we should get this done and start doing on the back of the larger staircase. We haven't really got much more to do on this piece other than more skulls and the insignias of Sigma. And some runes by the looks of it. Yeah. More for this one, I think. There we go, and that's the other side. Oops. There you go. The copper and the silver done. What we need a bit more silver, because that's going to do those insignias. And the skulls. Now, I've also been watching The Wheel of Time. Now, I've read all the books from that, and in some ways I can see the points of what the fans of the book have said about the actual series, and they've sort of like, they have really slated it a bit. Is that the storyline has moved a bit too fast for most fans, because it's sort of like left behind some of the story. It's like you're near enough about a third of the way through the book when they sort of like arrive in Shadow Logoth, which is a dead city, but yet they're there by the end of the first episode. I can understand that they want to move the storyline along. There's so much other stuff that should have been added to it, I think, in a way, and they haven't done that. But it's already been, we'll see if they can actually improve it by the second series anyway. Hopefully they will, because I would like to see it completed. But it's one of the things, I suppose, when you try to translate a book into a series, not one of the easiest things to do, I don't think. Especially when you've got like the hardened fans that have sort of saying, oh, why have you missed this, why have you missed that. A lot of it is probably down to the fact that it's very hard to translate into a series from the book. Well, that's the skulls in the Sigma right insignia. Done. Korra, oh, it's on Netflix. Yeah. What, The Witcher? Yeah, we know The Witcher's on Netflix, but I think Wheel of Time's on Netflix as well, isn't it? Yeah. Or is that Prime? I can't remember now. One of the two, anyway. So I've got Netflix, Prime, and Disney Plus. And when you're mixing all three of them together, it can sometimes get confusing what you're watching on what. I've got 3 more little insignias to do on the runes. Okay, so that's the little runes done into it. You can see. And now all we've got to do is the brass bit. Yeah, which is on Netflix. That part I do know. And it's Weird of Time. I think that's on either. I think that's Amazon Prime. Weird of Time, if I remember rightly. But even though the fans have actually slated it, I have enjoyed watching it so far, I should say. But it's like I said, that I can understand where people are saying that the actual series has jumped quite a bit, where they sort of feel as though part of the story has been lost by the fact that they've jumped from sort of like missed out sort of like 2/3 of the book. But as I said, like trying to translate that much of a book, I would have thought it's quite hard. But there we go. That's both sides of the main disc now done. So we should, in all theory, attach it to this one. Let's take that out of the way. Hopefully that's come off without damaging it. Yep, it has. Brilliant. Okay, so that's one side all done, and then now we've got the second side all done. Well, tonight I'm going to finish there before I start messing about with it. A few more bits other than that. One, because I need to go to the little boy's room, so I'm going to probably finish off up here now tonight, make it a bit easier. And I haven't really cut any more pieces out. I've only got the little book to finish off there tonight, really. But other than that, yeah. So Korra nature first. But I will say, jump back up to the face cam. I know it's finishing a little bit earlier than I normally do, but as I said, it's a good place to stop. There we go. So, I do apologise for finishing just a little bit earlier tonight. As I said, I'll probably make a bit bigger, longer stream on Christmas Day in the evening. So you're more than welcome to come and join us. And as I said, I will be doing a giveaway. So hopefully then we'll get that posted out to you after Christmas. Not too sure what it's going to be yet, but I have a couple of things in mind, or a couple of kits I should say. So we'll think about that a bit further along. So what I'll do now is I'll say night for now, and stay safe, happy modelling, and Merry Christmas to everyone. Bye bye for now.